Good morning, everyone. My name is Jay Tonsger, and I'm a marketing coordinator at resortsandlodges.com and Track Hospitality Software. Today, we have a great presentation in store for everyone from Doug Kennedy of the Kennedy Training Network. Resortsandlodges.com is one of the leading travel websites for independent properties and hospitality companies. Resortsandlodges.com also offers digital marketing solutions, including pay-per-click, search engine optimization, website development, and email marketing. Track Hospitality Software, which includes Track Pulse and Track PM, is our all-in-one guest communication cloud for hospitality properties. Doug has been a regular contributor to the hotel and lodging industry's most prominent publications since 1996, and we're excited for him to be able to share more than 2 decades of industry experience with all of you. Today's webinar will be about using storytelling approach to narrate the pictures travelers have already seen online. So without further ado, here is Doug Kennedy.
Thank you very much, Jay, and thank you to almost 100 locations that have signed up for this month's private webinar scheduled by Track Pulse and the Resorts and Lodges team, and sponsored by them very generously for their clients. If you've been joining us this year, actually for the last 3 years now, you know that we do these approximately 1 time a month. Exclusive to their clients and just for you. So I hope to bring value in the time we're going to be together. I was just freshly back from last night, about midnight, landed from Las Vegas, where I was attending the Vacation Rental Management Association conference with about 1,800 participants. I was in the Track Pulse booth and visiting with them and the Resorts and Lodges crew. Saw the latest updates, so I'm excited as ever about both of those options that are offered. So I hope to bring value again for your carving out time and also share some of the insights I got from attending the conference and hearing many of the other valuable participants. I know we have a mix today of hotels, resorts, vacation rentals, alternative lodging, but I think you'll see that all of us want to be involved with the storytelling approach to narrate the pictures. So let me kind of frame up this month's topic and let's get right down to it. Now, first of all, I do not believe that we're nearing the end of voice reservations sales. So a lot of people still believe voice is a dying distribution channel, but I certainly do not believe so, okay? There's certainly an increase in online bookings. However, a lot of the people who book online, those reservations do not just show up. Somebody actually makes a call. So perhaps you're one of the companies out there that's experienced disruption from new options coming into the marketplace, new OTAs that are evolving, new ways of booking. If you're since I come off the vacation rental conference, there's a lot of newer companies. You have companies like Vacasa and Stay Alfred and all these other collections that are trying to really push people online. I actually had one of there are several of those companies that are out there today, so I don't want to name names, but one of the key executives at the closing reception 2 nights ago, I was sitting there enjoying a conversation with some of our other clients, and he sat down and they said, "Oh, have you met Doug Kennedy?" "Oh, yeah. I took Doug's." They were saying, "Oh, you should use Doug Kennedy and have him and his team come out and train you." And he's like, "Oh, yeah. Well, we took Doug Kennedy's class 10 years ago." So I guess they already know everything, and they think that nothing has changed in 10 years, okay? And they think my training hasn't evolved in 10 years. But you know the difference because you are staying on top of voice. You know voice is not going away, and you're attending these webinars. So I hope they continue believing that, because what's happening there is they're pushing people to book only online and not recognizing there's an interplay. Now, I know that voice is not dying. A lot of people think, oh, millennials, like they never want to talk to anyone. They want everything on an app. I actually hate the stereotyping, the negative stereotyping of millennials. You know, actually my current month's article, if you didn't get my newsletter, most of you are probably already subscribed, but if not, shoot me over an email at the end and I'll forward it. It just launched this morning, and I republish all of my articles I write every month, and one of them is on the stereotyping of millennials has gone too far. We probably have a lot of millennials on this today, and first of all, I don't believe anything they supposedly say about you. You're very loyal, you're hardworking, you're smart, you're focused in your life. And regarding our conversation today, you also call. So voice is not dead. I know this because we have several hotels targeting the so-called millennial generation. We have the SLS South Beach. We work with the Viceroy Hotel brand. These are hotel chains really looking for, the guest that is traveling, maybe doesn't have kids yet or have kids left them with grandma. And so they're, they get people of all ages, but a lot skewed towards the younger set. And about a third of their calls come in by voice. Why? Because the rates are really high in South Beach and New York and LA, and you have a lot of questions about the room types, and it's an important occasion. I'm very tech oriented. I'll book a Marriott or a Hilton online if I'm staying one night. But if I'm going on vacation to a resort, I'm going to make a phone call at some point. So, but if all we do is check for the dates, as we covered so many times in the other webinars, if all we do is say, what are your dates? How many people? How many beds? How many bedrooms? Okay, here's the price. All right, if that's all we do, then sure enough, if all we do is check dates and quote rates, then reservations will surely soon be replaced. As you often hear me say, there's 3 women who want your job in reservations: Siri, Cortana, and Alexa. And of course, Bixby if you have the Samsung smartphone app. So if that's all we do, our reservations jobs probably will be replaced very soon, because they could be replaced already. And if you call major hotel chains, all right, give a call to some of the chains. Now, the last time I did this, Hyatt, Intercontinental, I'm pretty sure it was Marriott and Hilton as well, and Choice Hotels. Give them a call, and I'm going to bet 3 out of 5, if not 5 for 5, the initial call gets answered by the first cousin of Alexa, okay? And it's voice automation. And you tell the computer what your city or state or province in Canada you're looking at. You give them your dates, which they seem to always get wrong. I don't know if it's just me. And then they put you through to the live agent, who simply asks, who simply quotes the rates and then says, you want to book it? Are you sure you don't want to book it? We're selling out, we're going to be booking up fast. If you should book it now. All they do is try to book it, okay? But they don't sell you anything. They're complete order takers now. And yet you hear the major hotel chains crying in their tears in their beers, tears in their soups, because they're not getting enough direct bookings. Their lunch, book direct and save. They only care about website. They don't care about voice. They think voice is a dying distribution channel. Don't believe that, okay? So you should be encouraging calls for those who need help. Now, if they book direct, that's great. We're thankful for them, and maybe that is rising. But when they make a phone call, that's our chance to make a human connection, all right? So that's what we want to do right here. I love this image. If you've been in my other webinars, the human hand meeting the hand of technology. And this picture is a good replica of the creation, which is hanging in, it's not even hanging, it's the painting on the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican in Rome. So what can we do that artificial intelligence can never do? That's what we're going to be talking about now. But I do want to take us back, and I actually added this because I'm going to be going to Italy here in 1 week from today to speak at a hotel revenue management conference. Now, normally I'm brought in to call center conferences or hospitality conferences. Revenue managers have been highly skewed, many of them, probably not the ones with us today, but the revenue management conferences have been highly skewed towards electronic distribution, all right? But here they're bringing me all the way to San Marino, which is a small country inside of Italy. They actually gave me this topic, the human factor of hospitality and digital marketing. So I'm going to be sharing with them some of what I'll be sharing with you now, but I'm actually borrowing their topic here today in our webinar. Today's prospective guests have more information than ever before in the history of lodging industry. When I was at the conference in Las Vegas, Lucy Kauai Halu, who is the owner of Kauai Vacation Rentals, she has 250 high-end luxury homes in Kauai. If you ever go, I highly recommend it. one of my favorite hospitality personalities. And she was talking about, this is her 40th year in the business. When she first started out, she rented these vacation houses. People, they had a list of the properties that they rented. People would want to see pictures. They actually printed out photographs, mailed them to the prospect, and put a self-addressed stamped envelope to mail them back. So we came a long way since then. We went to the era where we printed out catalogs, we printed out brochures of hotels. They actually called them rack brochures because they went on the brochure rack in the lobby. Okay, but they had only very little information, usually a thumbnail photograph in a brochure. All right, but today we have more information than ever before. All right. So with a few taps on their smartphone, our prospective guests can see so much information about our hotels and resorts and amenities and services and our accommodations, or if you're in the vacation rental business, you know, every single room in that home or condo. All right. We have informative websites. We have online guest reviews. We have hundreds of images. Now, you may be thinking, Doug, we don't have hundreds at our company. Maybe you have 5 or 10 if you're a vacation home rental, or 3 or 4 if you're a resort. But you have hundreds of images that are out there on TripAdvisor and social media. We have 360-degree virtual tours where the camera goes around the room. Some of them are 3D floor plans where you see the larger accommodations and you see the camera icon and you click on it. We have promotional videos about our resorts, okay? And yet, despite all this, people still call. So if we could go back in time to the year 2005 and survey hoteliers, and if we first told them this would be the situation, I strongly believe that they would think nobody would call. Now, wouldn't it be great if this machine actually existed? I hope you all recognize this. I may be dating myself. This is a very old movie, but it is such a classic. Back to the Future. Even our youngest participants have probably seen this movie, or maybe you went to Universal Studios. I want to make sure and give them credit because this is their image, and you actually saw this DeLorean, you know, is a ride there Back to the Future. But if we could climb into that DeLorean and we could bring with us our smartphone, and it could still be connected to the internet, and we could go back from 2018 to 2005, bring the smartphone, go to a marketing person in the hotel and lodging business, get them to log in, or I'm not even log in, get them to search up your company or hotel's website, show them all the images, show them how easy it is to book online. And then we told them the situation in 2018. Nobody would expect the guests today would continue to inquire by a telephone call, all right? So I kind of get it. I understand why a lot of revenue managers think that in today's world, nobody will call anymore. Because first of all, you see the numbers for online bookings, but they don't always realize how the interplay between voice and online. So if you've been with me for some of the more management leadership level programs, I always talk about when that online booking comes in directly to your website, take that telephone number, search it up in your telephone history of from your long distance provider, your 800 long distance provider, or your CRM if you're using a lead tracking tool like TrackPulse, and you will see that people call before they book online, all right? Because the phones are still ringing. Do you ever feel like this fellow right here, ladies and gentlemen, all right? So you feel, you know, all of a sudden, it's kind of what I call the everything happens at once principle, which is kind of funny. You know, nobody calls, and then everybody calls. Let's say there's 2 of you in the office. I know some of you might have 20 people in your office. Some of you you're the only person. Some of you are at the front desk, and that applies too. But let's say in a reservations office, you have 2 people on smaller hotel, smaller company, and your colleague's like, you know what, phone hasn't rung for a while. I'm going to go get a coffee. Okay, as soon as they step away, all the phones ring. You know what I'm saying? Smaller properties, you're working the front desk, you have a colleague or a supervisor nearby. They say, you know what, I'm gonna grab lunch since it's slow right now. As soon as they leave, everything happens at once. All right. So remember, most callers, when they do call, do not be a room renter. Do not say it's 400 square feet. You want to look at it? There's an iron and an ironing board and a hair dryer and a coffee maker and a balcony with a view. Want to look at that? Don't rent them a room. They want to buy an experience, either a vacation experience for most of us, or an urban vacation experience for a lot of us, or a business traveler for a few of us on the call today, or a business traveler to a resort location. I'm that business traveler going to a resort location, and sometimes I go there for sales calls. But whoever it is, there's a story to be told behind the call, all right? As we've covered so many times, if you ask questions, you find out what experience they're looking for, all right? And we know they've already seen the list of rooms and the rates. Most of them have seen a list of the features. Most of them have seen pictures of the features, all right? Probably to the point where they've seen actually an overwhelming number of pictures, okay? So what we want to do then is, instead of just telling them what they already know and stating back the feature list, okay, what we want to do today is use a storytelling approach. And that brings us to the core part of our webinar today, all right? So we want to help this woman right here exemplifies the caller who has been online, and now they give us a call and they're asking us for details of what is it really like, okay? So we want to help her imagine so she fills in this thought bubble, okay? So 3 different methods I want to share with you. Visually and emotionally descriptive language, what I call the just for you storytelling approach, and then needs-based recommendations. And these are also very, very simple, okay? But they're easy to understand intellectually. I challenge you today to take the journey from the head to the heart and make these habits. So we're not giving you a list of features. We're not going to say, oh, you need to quote 3 features for every caller and make sure, to quote 3 benefits. We have a coffee maker for your convenience, all right? We used to focus on the feature advantage benefit selling. It was called fab selling. Okay, but I'm going to give you a style of talking that is very 2019, because guess what? They're calling for 2019 already. Guess what? You better get your Christmas shopping started. Black Friday is coming soon. It's the last day of October. So let's get ready to tell some stories this year, okay? We already covered in previous webinars, and Jay, I know you have these archived. If anyone has questions on how to access that, email back Jay at the end here. But or email me and I'll forward it on, where we talk about asking the right questions. Hey, as I'm checking availability, do you have any questions about our location, about our amenities and services, or about our accommodations? Okay, and then you find out who they are and why they're calling. So we're going to jump in now to how to tell the story of them enjoying their travels in your accommodations. 3 different methods. First one, now, I want to point out, we can use these 3 methods while selling each level of the hotel value pyramid model, okay? Again, we've covered this in a previous webinar, but again, everything that we do in this series ties in, all right? If you've missed it, stay tuned. We're going to go back through them again in 2019. But we want to sell the experience, not the room or suite. So we want to say, as I'm checking availability, any questions about our destination? Now, you won't say any questions about our destination. You will say, do you have any questions about Gatlinburg? Or as I'm checking availability, do you have any questions about our location here in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge? Or as I'm checking availability, do you have any questions about our location here in beautiful Maui, okay? Or here in Maine, or wherever it is you are, okay? Or about our amenities and services. So you'll say, as I'm checking availability, do you have any questions about our destination here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where I live, or about our amenities and services? Okay. Now, and then you discuss these items before you get into the room, the suite, or the vacation home. Now, this is how most reservation agents are selling today. When I was in Las Vegas, I had a pre-training conference, pre-training workshop. We had 50 people that gave up Saturday afternoon in Las Vegas, when I assure you there was plenty of things to do. They spent 4 hours going through my Train the Trainer workshop, and we gave them a lot of the experience that we do with our on-site training. One of the things I always enjoy doing is having them call other places. So we called other companies and we called other hotels. And we had about 5 volunteers step out of the room and do this activity. Every single one of them came back. The person asked for their dates, found out how many people in beds, and gave a price. They established their value proposition on the very weak foundation of giving the price, okay? And only when they were asked by our participants posing as vacation guests or potentially staying at the locations, only then did they talk about these items. All right, so now we're gonna look at what do we do to tell stories instead of selling features and listing features. First one here is to use visually and emotionally descriptive language. Rather than overusing a few comfort words, let's expand your vocabulary to words that sell the overall experience. All right. So what do I mean by comfort words? Okay, what do you mean by that? Comfort words are words that we fall back into using out of habit because they're easy, because everybody else says them. And we always said them, all right? Tell me about your room. Oh, it's beautiful, it's nice, it's great. How's the view? Beautiful, nice, great. You have a restaurant? Sure do. How's the food? Beautiful, nice, great. Okay, I don't think you'd say the food was beautiful. Actually, some restaurants, the food is beautiful. That's why people take food selfies. But you say, oh, the food is really nice, it's great, it's nice, it's great. Okay, and that's what we do. How about the view? Oh yeah, there's a balcony with the view. What's the view like? It's of the beach. It's a mountain view. What? I just did a class. In fact, I'll come back to that in a minute. We want to use colorful adjectives and adverbs to help them imagine what it is that we're describing. Okay. So the word imagine is a fantastic attention grabber. And if we simply say, imagine yourself experiencing, all right, then these words are going to appeal to their emotion more than their intellect, okay? So imagine yourself. And when someone says, imagine yourself, it brings us back into the hearing a story, because you're the storyteller. They're the person you're telling the story to. When someone says, imagine yourself, we're like, oh. We become the 5-year-old child on mom or dad or grandma or grandpa's lap. We become in that listen mode when someone says, once upon a time in a faraway land. Oh. And we follow along and we can imagine ourselves. When we say, oh, there's a balcony with a view overlooking the beach. There's a mountain view. You want a bucket? You want a bucket? You want a bucket? All right, then we sound like everybody else. Let's go back to this one. Colorful adjectives and adverbs. I was just down in St. Lucia. I trained a fantastic resort there, the Viceroy Sugar Beach. I love the staff there. I've been training them for years. I go about once a year, every other year. They don't have a lot of turnover, and they're really good. You know, it's a Forbes 5-star level hotel. I think it actually has 5 stars. If not, it should. Sometimes Forbes requires you to have certain physical attributes. But I mean, if it was up to me, I would say it's a 7-star hotel. Now, in festive season, which is their holidays, you might spend $30,000. I saw one booking that came through for the Christmas to New Year's. The total was $148,000. Okay, that's for a 4-bedroom. They rent homes as well as cottage-style accommodations like traditional hotels. Very high-end place, if you can imagine. And yes, the credit card went through for $148,000. Fantastic resort, highly recommend. Now, one area that we had to work on, with all due respect, they're really polite, they're super good at personalizing, but we had to up the game at describing it a little bit. So we talked about their views. They have what they call mountain view or beach view. So I challenge you after this webinar to go online and take a look at the Pitons, P-I-T-O-N-S. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's 2 beautiful peak mountains that look exactly like you would imagine a mountain if you drew it as a child. Right between them is a crescent white sand beach. The mountain view there, to me, is even better than the beach view. So we worked on that. We actually had them on what we call a resort safari experience. I took a half a day in the classroom and a half a day on site. And we actually walked the resort. We got in a van and driven around and then walked the rest. And we worked on our adjectives and adverbs to up the game. They have a treehouse spa. They were saying, oh, it's a treehouse spa. The treatment rooms are like a treehouse. So we're still working to up our game here. Imagine yourself stepping in to a totally natural environment where the tree house theme has a thatched roof with wood that's sourced right there locally. Beneath you is a babbling brook, the sound of the wind whistling through the trees as you take in the aroma of the locally sourced product. Imagine yourself. Okay. Doesn't that sound better? Okay. So that's what we want to do here. Now, that's hard. You're going to need to do some work on this. Managers, we got to give our team some coaching and training. Step number one, grab your website. Okay, if Resorts and Lodges made your website, it's probably really good. I know because they made my website. I'm sure you have marketing and copywriters there that work with them. Print out your website, grab your good old-fashioned highlighter, highlight the words that appeal to emotion and intellect and help us tell the story. Make a list. Another activity you can do after my webinar, look at your 5 main features. Is it the view? Is it the beach? Is it the mountain? Is it the lake? Is it the city view, the skyline view? Is it the restaurant? Is it the nearby golf course or the ski mountain? And then brainstorm a list. Again, we do this in our class. I have 5 people or 10 people. And I say, how often do you get the question, what's your beach like? And I know what you really want to say. There's sand, water, and waves. But they really want to know, what is the beach like? The beach is very different in all the many locations you can go to. So I say, give me a beach word. Oh, we have a pristine beach. What's your beach like? Oh, it's spacious, expansive. What's your beach like? Oh, it's crystal, sparkling blue waters. So then we pick up on that. Oh, imagine yourself taking a walk on the sparkling, expansive beach where you can immerse your feet in the sparkling blue waters. You can see your toes 25 feet offshore. Doesn't that sound better? So it's the visual words, but that's harder because we got to work on to up our game on vocabulary. Maybe have word of the day, beach word of the day, mountain word of the day. But the second one is super easy, ladies and gentlemen. Just replace we have with you will enjoy. Just replace we offer with you will receive. So instead of saying we have, we offer, we offer, let's make it all about you. You can enjoy, you can take advantage of, you could benefit from. If you notice, the advertising and marketing folks, that's exactly what they do when they create ad campaigns and slogans. Notice how many times when you watch television that they use the word you and not just we. All right, so let me give you some examples. You could say this room has a balcony with a view. Now, these are a little generic because we have, I don't know, almost 100 different locations today. So you'll want to be much more specific than this, but to give you the format. This room has a balcony with a view. Instead, imagine yourself stepping out on your own private balcony as you look out and see. Okay? Tell them what they're going to see. What's the air going to feel like? What's the smell going to feel like? Okay. How are the colors going to look at different times of day? All right. Now, here's another one. We have a spa. Do you have a spa? Can I get a massage? Oh, yeah. Our spa is located on the 2nd floor. It's open from 9 till 6. Everybody wants to tell me the hours. Am I going to remember the hours? Probably not. Am I going to remember that it's on the 2nd floor? I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, we have a spa. It's on the second floor. It's open from 9 until 6. They offer massage and skincare. Okay? Or we could say, oh, a spa, yes. Imagine scheduling some alone time during your family vacation, moms, and you can enjoy a tranquil visit to our relaxing and spa where you will experience. Do I have any moms on the webinar today? This is generic, but it's already sounding pretty good, right? Okay. I know my kids are older, but I remember those days sending my wife to the spa. And I think keywords here already, alone time, moms. You like that when you got little kids on vacation? Tranquil visit. Okay, make it all about mom. Okay, and then you're going to fill in the blank and you're going to talk about product. You're going to talk about when you step into the spa, the first thing you'll notice is the pleasant aroma of our locally themed scent, okay? Or recommend a particular spa treatment. You don't have to be an expert at the spa menu. If you at least say, oh, and by the way, I hear great things about our Lomi Lomi massage, okay? Or our, what's the immersion spa, where if you have where you go into the pool that's actually the body temperature, or you have, even if it's just sweetie massage, but find out something that you can recommend. You don't have to be an expert on it. Now, you're saying, Doug, that's great, buddy. We don't have spa. You have one nearby, or you have that person that comes to your accommodations that provides the spa. I'm sorry, provides the massage. So do you have a spa? No, we don't. But the front desk will give you a list of a person that'll come out. Actually, we don't have a spa to get a massage, but imagine yourself in your spacious accommodation. You could actually, mom, you can schedule some time to have privacy in one of the extra bedrooms, and imagine your kids being in the home theater room, okay, while you can be enjoying a massage. And we have Sandy that comes out, and she's actually amazing. Our guests just always talk about her. She has, I don't know, it just works magic on your tired muscles. All right. What about restaurants? Oh yeah, we have a fine dining restaurant, serves seafood. Or if you don't have a restaurant, oh yeah, there's lots of restaurants in the area, including a really good seafood shack. Okay. Yes, we do. Imagine enjoying a romantic dinner with your wife right here at the resort. When you first enter the restaurant, you will see. All right. Now, again, maybe you're not a resort, you're a vacation rental. Maybe you're a vacation rental, like many vacation rental companies, they're adding concierge services, and you can have a private chef come out. Okay. Or maybe you're in the middle of nowhere and you rent cabins and there's no private chef and you're laughing right now. But imagine getting takeout, okay? And having a nice romantic dinner from takeout from 30 minutes away in town, all right? So imagine having a fully equipped kitchen. So in the morning, you can have all your family together, old and the young, all sit down for some freshly made pancakes and bacon, sizzling bacon to start off your morning together. Okay, now some of you are thinking, oh, I don't want to cook on vacation. That's actually the main time that I do cook, all right? Fortunately, my wife loves to cook. Her last name is Cook. I guess she's inclined to cook. But I also enjoy, and she prefers to cook, so I prefer loading the dishwasher and doing the dishes, which is fine in our marriage. But on vacation, I actually enjoy cooking because I really have time, especially breakfast. Most guys can make breakfast, right, guys? Actually, a lot of men do the cooking these days. Stereotypes are changing. Third way, easy way, very simple, needs-based recommendations, suggestions, and endorsements. Simply reassure them they're making a good choice. All right. Now, this picture I've used so many times in so many classes and webinars with you here at the Resorts and Lodges Track Pulse series. But why? Because, waiters are salespeople, and the more appropriate term today is servers. I like to use waiter, waitress, but the same idea. When you know what you want to eat, they will endorse it. They will say, oh, excellent choice. Now, in Las Vegas, we're at the MGM Grand. I've been to this place so many times. It was actually a former client of mine as recently as probably around 2012. They have such excellent restaurants. You walk down the Grand Walk, and you have to the left and right 4- and 5-star restaurants, okay? And when you go in, they have extensive menus, gourmet Chinese, Italian, high-end Japanese. We had Emerald Lagasse's place. We had Wolfgang Puck's and a lot of other options. Not only do they have really long menus, but then the server comes up and says, oh, we have a few specials tonight, like about 15, it would seem. Maybe not quite 15, but 3 or 4 specials. They have, the Italian restaurant had the first course and the second course dish. You know what I'm saying if you've eaten there. You are so confused, you don't know what you want. But when you order, they say, oh, excellent choice. So doesn't the food taste better when she tells you it's going to taste better? Try this when you have that caller who's online and you say, hey, as I'm checking availability, you have any questions about our location here in Idaho or amenities and services? No, I'm good with all that, but I'm just looking at this room and I'm wondering if it's worth the extra money for the upgrade. Oh, excellent choice. Are you traveling with a family? Since you're traveling with the family, this would be an excellent choice. And that makes it a needs-based recommendation, suggestion, or endorsement. So don't just say it's an excellent choice. If they're already sold on it, that's okay. But even better, say, since you mentioned whatever you just told me, your special need, your special circumstance, this would be an excellent choice because, all right? And that's going to make it sound like it is an excellent choice, all right? Now, recommendations, suggestions, and endorsements are wonderful to use throughout a reservations conversation. They're wonderful to use at any time when they have questions about your location, about your amenities and services at the resort, or again, if you're privately owned accommodations, you don't have the spa and restaurant in house, but you have it nearby. Okay, you can say, oh, we have an excellent location. You'll be a remote area, or you'll be close to everything. But the best time to use recommendations, suggestions, and endorsements is when you're presenting the accommodations and the rates, all right? So let me give you some examples. Now that I've answered all your questions, let me tell you about the rooms. We have a standard, superior, and deluxe. The standard is 200. Oh, what's the difference? Oh, the standard is 200. The superior is 250. And the deluxe is 300. Well, what's the difference? $50, okay? So instead, we want to say, now as to rooms, there's 3 terrific options that I can recommend for you. All right. So you start off by phrasing your presentation of the rooms as a recommendation. And then you do what we said earlier. Oh, well, the first option for you, if you're looking for the best value, you know, the traditional guest room, the standard room, I actually don't like the word standard, but I used it as an example here. Our traditional guest room is very nice. I'm sure you're going to find it quite comfortable and you'll find it's a great value. But for $50 more, we can also offer you a room that has all those amenities plus something extra. Well, what I always recommend, since it's a special occasion, you know, for $300 per night, imagine yourself, you step in and you will see and you will experience, okay? So you can use the storytelling approach, you can use the word you can use the visual and emotional descriptions, all right? You'll have plenty of extra space for your toddlers to run around. Imagine a game of hide and seek, okay, in the two-bedroom accommodation. All right. Now, if they have a room in mind and it's reasonably a good fit for what their stated needs are, you could say, yeah, I'm checking availability. Do you have this room? What's the price? Okay, thanks. They're going to probably hang up and book online. But instead, you want to say, oh, yes, that room is, instead of saying, yes, that room is available. You want to book it? Yes, I do have that room available. And since you're here for whatever reason you're here for that you just told me about, because I engaged you in a conversation, right? Then this room would be an excellent choice, all right? So in summary then, to use a storytelling approach, as we wrap up here, First of all, voice reservations is not a dying distribution channel. If all we do, however, is quote the rates and availability that they can find online at your website and book directly, then surely your career will not last long. Siri, Cortana, Alexa, and Bixby, artificial intelligence, AI, will take our jobs. But if we engage people in conversations, as we talk continuously about in this series, and we say, as I'm checking rates for you, or as I'm checking those dates for you, do you have any questions for me? What can I tell you about our beautiful town, city, destination? Okay, and what brings you in? Oh, how wonderful. Well, let me go over a few options for you. Use the word you, recommend, suggest, and endorse. There's 3 great options I can offer you, and put a little flair to help them picture it. Imagine yourself stepping out on the balcony and see. Okay, or see, smell, experience, feel. Add just a little flair to it, ladies and gentlemen, and you will tell stories. And your prospect will become that 5-year-old on mom or dad's lap while you turn the pages. And you get to the last page and you say, well, I have you on the line. Let's secure it for you now. And they'll be like, okay. Or they'll say, well, actually, we're not quite ready. And then you'll say, well, I understand. Sure, we can't lock it in now. Okay, and if you could put it on a courtesy hold, or if your deposit is refundable in the first 24 hours, or if they can cancel up till 30 days out. And they still say, no, I have to check with all the other people I'm traveling with. If you have track pulse, you can say, well, let me follow up with a short email and to give you my contact information. I'll be in touch. Okay. You don't say, do you want me to send an email? No, I'm good. Let me follow up with a short email. And you make a human connection. And you get one more book. Well, I hope to have brought value. You know, when I see the names of the properties, the hotels on the list, the companies on the list, I'm so honored that you keep turning out every month. I know a lot of you watch these in the replays, but I surely hope to bring value. Let me know if we're making a connection with you. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if there's other topics you would like us to address. I'm grateful to Resorts and Lodges. This is Matt Renner's address here. If you got the confirmation, you can reply to that. Their website for Resorts and Lodges, and also for Track HS, Track Hospitality Software. You can reach me at Doug@Kennedy Training Network, or our website as well. So thank you again for joining me today. Thank you, Jay, for making all these webinars happen. And I'll turn it back to you, my friend.
All right, thank you very much, Doug, and thank you to everyone who joined us today. If you have any questions or are interested in learning more about resortsandlodges.com and Track Solutions, please contact us at marketing@resortsandlodges.com. Have a great day, everyone.